juicy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential.
Welcome, you're watching Ask Profit, a show where we answer all your stock related queries. I'm Mahima Vacharjani and with me is Puneet Jhaveri. Well, before we move on to your queries for the day, let's take a quick look at how the markets are panning at present. Well, it's a quiet day for the markets. The Nifty has a range of roughly 70 odd points, currently trading around 0.2%, 0.12% higher. Let's also pull up the Sensex. Sensex has a range of around 250 odd points, trading around 0.1% higher. Let's also pull up the broader markets. The broader markets are also in tandem with the benchmark indices today. The mid cap 150 is almost flat, trading at 0.06% higher. The small cap 250 is up around 0.12%. Let's also pull up the bank Nifty and see what are the levels bank Nifty is trading at. There you go, it's around 0.2% up, hovering around the 53,500 levels. Let's pull up the contributors on the Nifty and see what are the counters weighing in and weighing out on Nifty. There you go, there's stocks like RIL, Bharti, Airtel, M&M, some stocks which are weighing down on the Nifty, but Infosys, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra and HCL Tech are some counters in green and keeping the Nifty in check. Let's also pull up the advanced decline ratio and see how that's panning out in trade today and see where the market is skewed towards. There you go, the graph is very narrow, 1100 odd advances versus 1000 odd declines. So the ratio is almost 1:1 when it comes to the advanced decline ratio. Let's pull up the NSE 500 if we can and see what are the top losers and gainers on the NSE 500 today. There you go, Varroc Engineering is seeing significant gains, up around 12%, ITI up 7%. Some counters in the textile space like Vaibhav Global, Raymond are doing well again in trade today after the Bangladesh +1 yesterday. Some counters which are not doing well today and have been under pressure is C-Info Systems down around 5%. HEG seeing profit booking now down around 4%. Oracle Finance down 3%. CET down 3% after the rally it saw yesterday. LIC down around 3%. Let's also pull up the sectoral index and see what sectors are buzzing in trade today, which are the sectors in green and which are in red. There you go, Nifty Metal gaining the most, up around 0.8%, Nifty IT up around 0.8%, Nifty Realty also up around 0.8%, but something that's not doing very well is Nifty Media, down around 0.5%, Nifty Energy down around 0.3%, Nifty Auto down around 0.2%. But moving on to our queries for day, and of course I'm welcoming in our guests for the day. We are joined by Astha Jain, Senior Research Analyst at Hen Securities, and Swati Hodkar from AVP Technical Research, Nirmal Bang, who joins us now. Welcome to both you beautiful ladies. My first question from the day is on Protein e-Government. Raju from Vijayawada is joining us and he is holding Protein eGov around 800 shares at 980 a piece, and he's a long-term holder and he wants to keep holding it for another 1 year, and he wants to know a view on this. Astha, I'll come to you for this one. Your view on this particular counter?
The view is definitely positive because it is one of the leading technology solution provider. And we have seen few days back also the OFS came and it has got a very strong response. So my idea here is, if the horizon is purely long term, then there is no need to worry in this counter, because this counter we are expecting with sales growth as well as bottom line growth to be at a CAGR of more than 10%. So I think going ahead, we are expecting the stock price momentum to be continued in this counter with a price target of more than 2000 at the upside. So my idea here is to remain invested in this counter with a price target of more than 2000.
Well, remaining investors, what Astha's view is on Protean e-government. Now, let me get in, the second query as well. It's on sale, the metal counter. This query is coming in from Raja Kumar from Chennai. He has, holding 200 shares, roughly at about 116 rupees per share. And he wanted a view for the next 3 months, whether to hold or to get out of the securities. Let me get in Swati for a quick check based on, the 3-month view. Swati, what do you think of sale and what should be the query going forward? 3-month time frame, any kind of view that you have on the stock?
Yes, the view is positive at the current market price because already we have seen a sharp correction from almost 170 to 110 levels. Now, from there onwards, the RSI is showing a positive reversal from the oversold zone. So, I believe we are likely to witness some more bounce back rally from the current market levels, at least up to 145 to 150 levels. The view is positive as long as the stock holds the support of 115 is acting as a very strong support levels provided by swing supports. So, by maintaining that stop loss, you can definitely hold on your long positions for immediate target of 150. And beyond that 160 levels can be seen.
Right, so hold is the view on sale. The next query is on ONGC. Pranil is writing in and he has a time frame of roughly 2 odd months to keep holding ONGC. So Swati, I'll stick with you for this one. How does ONGC look on charts right now?
As of now, my view is a little bit cautious on this particular counter. No wonder the stock has shown a sharp corrections from almost 345 to 250 levels. But I believe if you look towards on a larger degree, more corrections can be witnessed in the overcoming trading of sessions. I believe because what I'm saying that the counter is trading in the pattern of the low top, slow bottom, doesn't showing any sign of a reversal from the current market price. If it breaks 250 level, then selling pressure will get intensified, which might take a stocks towards to 240 and so levels. So not to create any long positions at the current market price, if the stocks find out a support nearby 240, that level will be act as a good support levels, and it will be a risk reward ratio will be a little bit comfortable at those levels. So try to take a long positions on every tips towards to 240, and at the current level I will not suggest to fresh buy calls.
Right, that's the view coming in on ONGC. We have our first caller for the day. Akhil Saraf from Mumbai is calling us. Akhil, thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
Yeah, hi, good morning. Thank you for having me on air, and I'm trying to answer my query. My query is I'm holding 525 shares of Vedanta, and I'm holding it for over 16 years since the time it was known as Sterlite Industries. I know the company is giving good dividends, but I believe the company is going to be going into demerger.
Okay.
So is it better to hold it right now or sell it and encash it and, reinvest somewhere else?
All right, Akhil, I'm just curious at what levels did you buy Vedanta? Because 16 years ago, I believe the price, I don't even know what the price would be. What's the price at which you bought it?
I honestly, it was given to me as a gift. So.
Okay. Okay, I see. So, if you can disclose that to us, at what kind of profits are you sitting at present, and what's the kind of time horizon that you're looking for?
I mean, I am making a profit of over 1 lakh rupees.
Okay.
That much I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what's the time horizon that you're looking for?
Nothing. Now I can encash it.
All right. So then, Swati, I'll come to you for this one. Should he book profit at the moment because he's sitting on a significant profits of around 1 lakh rupees?
First of all, I congratulate him. He is holding for so long period very patiently. And I believe if we are looking for at least 14-15 years back at that point of level, the stock was sitting in nearby 70 to 80 levels. So probably I'm assuming that was your buying price. Currently, the counter is trading at 501 levels. The view is definitely positive on the technical front. The monthly chart is forming the flag pattern, the body of the flag pattern. Now, if it manages to give the breakout of 510, definitely a new reversal or new trend will get started, which might take a counter towards to 550 to 570 levels. So my view is definitely positive. I will suggest to stick on your long positions. Try to maintain the profit stop losses, which I will give it to you at around 470. That will be acting as a very crucial support level. Unless and until it doesn't trigger that levels, definitely the view will remain positive and such kind of a rally will continue down the higher side. So by maintaining a stop loss of a 470, you can hold this particular counter for a target of 570. And so if the stop loss get triggered, then you can encash your profits and invest into some other quality stock.
Well, that's the view on Vedanta. I just want to move on to the next query as well. This is on Zomato, another investor favorite stock. We are getting this query from Mamta from Chennai. Now she is holding roughly about 58 shares, bought at 217 rupees per share, And her query is more on the fundamental side. She has said she wants to accumulate more stocks of Zomato. She's looking for a good level to enter from here and wants to know if there's any inputs from the fundamental side averaging upwards, going forward as well. So let me get in Astha. Astha, any view on Zomato and what could be a level to, increase your allocation going forward as well?
I think in Zomato, one can increase the allocation, but slightly at the lower level, first of all. Now, talking about the fundamentals of this counter, the gross order value, I mean, it has shown a rise. And now with the management's efforts, I think this GOV, that is gross order value, will reach around 1,000 crore mark, I suppose, in coming few years. It is roughly somewhere at around 300 to 500 crore. So now the management has aspirations to reach those levels. So definitely when management set such kind of aspirations, it signals towards the strong growth in the financials. And I think on the basis of that, definitely the financials will be the EPS accretive performance going ahead, which we believe. And on the basis of that, we think that the stock price momentum will continue to rise. So my idea here is to stay invested, first of all, whatever quantity the investor have, with a price target of 320 to 330 at the initial levels. But for the accumulation purpose, it's better to wait for some fall, maybe at around the level of 290 or 285 odd levels. It is a good level to make an entry into the counter as well. So accumulation can be done at the lower level, but continue in the investments with a price target of 320 to 330 at the initial levels.
Asa, quickly, just your view on Swiggy as well, because CLSA has come out with a note giving a target price of 708. Do you also kind of agree with that?
So for Swiggy, when the IPO came, we were positive on this IPO, and I really stick my neck out, and I told even all the viewers, investors that go for the listing gain also. It was a bold call for me, but we were positive on this company. There were two basic points. First of all, the kind of strategies this company is taking in order to increase their performance. I think if those strategies materialize in a proper way or execute in a proper way, definitely the company's financial performance will get a strong jump. Secondly, the valuation at which they have bought the IPO, it looks reasonable when I compare it to the Zomato. So all in all, but yes, the profitability was a concern at that time. So my idea here is we are continue to positive on this counter on Swiggy, but the price target which we would like to set is not 700 because it seems to be very high as of now. But yes, initial price target can be set at around 600 to 620 odd levels.
Got it. We have our next caller, Debashish Ghosh is calling in from Kolkata. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you, Debashish?
I want to purchase Wipro at this time. Whether it is right decision or wrong.
All right. What is the time horizon that you're looking for? How long can you hold these shares?
More than 3 years.
Sorry?
More than 3 years.
More than 3 years. Okay. So long-term view. Asa, I'll stick with you for this one. Wipro, is this the right time to enter for next 3 years?
I think one can make an entry to this counter, but at the level of around 300 to 295 first of all. Now, the reason behind this, yes, the management has seen a strong rise in the deal wins. And on the basis of that, we expect this company to perform strongly in the coming because they have various large deal win orders. So I think on the basis of that, if anyone has the mind set up for this counter in particular, then one can go ahead. But there are various other IT companies also which are looking good at the same time. So idea here is if someone has particularly suppose lakh rupees, then 50,000 in the Wipro and the remaining 50,000 in the other good companies in which right now Tech Mahindra is looking very good to us. And we are suggesting the price target of around 1900 to 1950 at the higher levels. So idea here is partially enter into the Wipro of whatever money one needs to allocate there, but partially invest in other IT majors also.
Well, that's the view coming in from Astha on Wipro, and we also had an HSBC upgrade today as well on Wipro. They had a reduced rating earlier, now it's a hold, so they've upgraded that as well. Got that view, Astha. The next query we are coming in is on IDFC First Bank. Now, we're getting this query from Ramani MV from Chennai. Now, they haven't mentioned the time frame, but the mid-sized private sector banks have also seen some correction. The stock is IDFC First is also down on a year-to-date basis by roughly 25%. Let me get in a quick view from our technical guest as well. What is your view, Swati, on IDFC First Bank, and is there anything else apart from that you like in the private mid-tier private sector banks as well?
My view on the IDFC First Bank is a little bit cautious. Why I'm saying that from since 2023, we are continuously witnessing that the stock is under the pressure. We have seen a fall from almost 97 rupees to 60 levels. Now it is currently trading at a oversold zone. Probably we are likely to see a reversal over a period of time, but as of now, it is not showing any sign of a reversals. The stock might went into the consolidation phase. We might witness consolidation phase, and after that, some sort of a reversals can be witnessed. So my view is cautious as long as the stock trades below 68, 69 level. Those is acting as a very strong resistance levels. So any move above that level will only witness some sort of a fresh buying can be witnessed in those stock which might take a counter to 75 to 80. At the current level, I will suggest not to invest at the CMP, but definitely wait for the breakout of 67 rupees on the closing basis. Then you can take a buy call in those counter.
All right. The next question is, I believe, on the MobiKwik IPO. Bala from Chennai is asking this as to, what is the outlook for this particular IPO? Asta, I'm not sure if you're covering this IPO. Do you have a view on this?
Yes, even in fact, we have started covering it. So my report work is going on. But yes, prima facie, I find this IPO to be good enough to invest the money in. But there is one point. There are various IPOs which are coming in right now. Because tomorrow only we are having 2 or 3 IPOs opening, I suppose. So now one really need to allocate their money because there are various good IPOs also which are coming. So now idea here is in all, total 5 IPOs will be opening in this week itself. So first choice will be Vishal Megamart. Sorry, I'm deviating the stock towards the other IPO. But now coming on the MobiKwik, even we are giving a subscribe rating to this IPO also. But if anyone is a limited fund, then Vishal Megamart is our first choice, followed by Indian Gemological Institute, which will be opening on 12th or 13th of this month. And then Inventurous Knowledge, and fourth number or fourth rating we will be giving to MobiKwik. Now talking about this counter, the fundamentals, I think the financial performance is pretty good. Why? Because they have shown operating profit positive. I mean, the operating profit itself signals that it is a positive on the EBITDA front and bottom line in FY24. And they have a very strong users, and they, without spending much on the marketing, in fact, they are able to garner such kind of profitability. In fact, if I compare it to 197 Communication, that is Paytm, then their price to book value ratios also seems to be reasonable. So MobiKwik is a subscribe from our side, but just for the additional knowledge, since 4 or 5 IPOs are opening, first rating should be given to Vishal Megamart, followed by Indian Gemological Institute, third one is Inventurous Knowledge, and fourth is MobiKwik, followed by Sky Life Sciences at the fifth position.
Thanks Asta for that view on all the IPOs as well as MobiKwik as well. Definitely IPO heavy week, and expect that we will be just talking to you more on these IPOs going forward as well. But let's take in a query. We have another call coming in from Chennai from Shankar. Now he has, I just wanted to take a chance to speak to the caller as well. So Shankar, what is your query and how can he help you?
Very good morning.
Good morning.
I have 755 shares, Motherson Sumi. That means Samvardhan Sumi. The rate of 202 rupees.
Got it.
I am ready to wait minimum 3 years.
Got it.
What is the outlook for the technical outlook for the share? Short term, medium term, long term.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I listen from TV.
Got that, Shankar. Got that. So I'll just take both, our guest view. Let me start with the technical view first on Samvardhan Motherson from Swati. Any kind of view that you have on this auto ancillary company?
Yes, my view is a little bit cautious at the current level, because I am saying that from the last few trading sessions, the stock was witnessing a very strong resistance nearby 215 and so levels. Now, if you look towards the longer term horizon degree, the stock has given the breakout of a upward sloping trend line, which gives some sort of a cautious sign. Downside, it may come down up to 145, 140 level. Up to that level, we might witness some selling pressure. Then we can see some reversal from that level. As of now, my view is cautious, not to create any long position. If you're having for longer term horizon, definitely you can hold on. A pullback rally can be witnessed up to the 200 levels. So for a medium term purpose, my view is cautious. For long term, definitely you can hold on your counter for a target of 200 and so levels.
Astha, do you also have a fundamental view on this? Because we have seen some problems in the export market, and all auto ancillary companies who have a lot of exposure in Europe and USA are seeing some pressure. Any kind of fundamental view that you have on Samvardhan Motherson?
Yes, there are some issues, but what we believe that due to the premiumization as well as EV transition, they can perform their global, peers. They can outperform their global peers. So first of all, that although their results were quite muted of Q2 FY25, but now as management has also guided that H2 is always better due to the seasonality also in the business. So we are expecting H2 FY25 to be a better half year for this company, and on that basis, maybe the financial performance can pick up because they have a order backlog also. So we are believing that this counter has a potential to move upwards, provided everything goes well for this company. So one can take a chance and remain invested in this counter. Initial price target can be set at around 185 to 190. But if the results come in favor, then definitely this counter has a potential to move till the level of 200 and beyond that also.
All right. I hope that answers your query, Shankar. We have our next caller. Sandeep from Hyderabad is calling us. Thanks for calling in, Sandeep. How can we help you?
Ma'am, I'm holding 80 shares of Cochin Shipyard at 1707.
Okay.
I can hold it for next 3 months.
Okay.
So my just wanted to check. My target was around 1950 or 2008 because it has already fallen to a level of 50%.
Right.
Just wanted to check what could be the view of.
All right. I'll quickly go to Swati. Swati, 1950, is that target achievable in the next 3 months?
That targets will be achieved, but it will take a long time. As such, I can suggest you within a span of 1 month also it may achieve, but it's depend upon the volume game and the price momentum game as of now. Because over a period of a 4-5 trading session only, we have seen a very strong rally from 1300 to almost 1750 levels. Now the stock is under the formation of the flag pattern, which indicates that it's forming the body of that flag pattern, which indicates that the stock is under the consolidation phase. Downside, it has a very crucial support nearby 1600, and upside it has been stuck within a range of 1600 to 1740. So as long as it stays between that range, will not get some clear indication on the technical front. Any move above 1730, 1740, definitely we are likely to witness the positive momentums towards to at least maximum 2000 level within a very short span of time. So as of now, view is definitely positive. It will take a time to give the breakout. As of now, I will suggest to hold on this particular counter by maintaining a strict stop loss of 1600 for a target of 2000 levels.
Taking your view, Swati, thanks for that. So let's move on to our next query. We're getting this on credit axis Grameen. Now, this query we're getting in from Ahmedabad from Mr. KJK Chaudhary. He has roughly 200 shares holding at roughly about 1275 rupees per share. We have seen some steep correction from those levels. In the past year also, it's down 45%. Let me get in Astha for a quick view. Astha, what's your view on the stock? It has seen, some pressure in its Q2 results as well. What's your outlook on credit axis Grameen right now?
So the outlook is a bit cautious. Now, why I tell you? Because first of all, the management itself has reduced their guidance. And we have seen the stress in their MFI portfolio, and that is really affecting the credit growth, also the quality of credit growth. So I think this will be a phenomena which can continue till 3 or 4 months. So idea here is bit cautious for at least coming quarter. But if the longer term is there, if the time horizon is for more than 6 or 9 months, then one can remain invested in this counter, because over the longer period of time, maybe this counter has a potential to move upwards, and the cost price of around 1200 can also be seen. But the time horizon should be purely long term, that is more than 9 months.
In fact, Nomura had also downgraded the stock, and the stock did see a lot of beating, and they had given a target price of 950, and the stock is right now hovering below that levels as well. So I think the stock is seeing pressure since the past few days. But it's time for a quick break. Astha and Swati, don't go anywhere, and viewers also don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and answering all your queries on the other side.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. the newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past.
Welcome back to Ask Profit. Viewers, if you're just joining us, you can send us your queries on the number flashing on your screen, or also can call us for your queries as well. Let's move on. We're getting a next caller. This is Shweta joining us from Hyderabad. Hi Shweta, what is your query?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
My query is regarding Texmaco Rail. I bought 362 shares at 277 apiece.
Right. And what is
my
your
time horizon is
Yeah.
3 to 6 months. I would like to, exit. It means if I want to exit, then at what levels, till what levels can I wait and exit?
Got it. Let me get in Swati for a view on Texmaco. The price that she's bought it at is rupees 277. What is your view for the next 3 to 6 months, Swati?
My view is definitely positive, but Shweta has bought it at elevated levels as such. The stock is under the formation of the W pattern, and it is on the verge of trailing that CD leg of that particular pattern. I believe it has maintained a very strong support at around 190 and so level, and showing a positive divergence on the charts as well. So any move above 230 levels on the closing basis will extend the rally up to the 270 to 280 levels. So my view is positive. No need to sell off at the current market price. You can hold on this particular counter. Very soon we will get a breakout of 230 levels on the closing basis, and then we can see the extension of this pullback rally to 270. So it's a hold from my end.
Right, the next query is from NS Rao, who's from Hyderabad. He's writing in to know about IRFC. I don't think he holds any IRFC shares, but he wants to know that he's saying that IRFC is on an up move, and is this the right time to enter or not? Asa, I'll take a funda view on this. Is this the right time to enter?
So we are positive on the IRFC. So yes, it is on the up move. So one can definitely make a exposure in this counter, but slightly at a lower level of around 150 or 148 also. So one can enter into this counter because we believe that upcoming results will also be very favorable for this counter. And we all know that now the government capex, which is long pending, if it starts in H2 of FY25, then definitely the railway companies will get a boost, and in turn IRFC will also show a positive momentum in their financials. So all in all, one can make an entry into this counter, but slightly at a lower level with a price target of 180 at the initial juncture.
Well, price target of 180 on on this particular stock IRFC coming in from Astha. The next query that we're getting into is on Godavari Power. Now, Monica is writing us from Raipur. She has bought at a price of roughly about 188 rupees per share. She's bought roughly 124 shares, and she just wants to know whether she should hold or sell. While she did not mention a time frame, let me get in Swati first on this particular stock. It has seen a very good run over the last 6 months, up almost 48%. What's your view, Swati, going forward on Godavari Power? Any kind of view that you have on the same?
No, my view is positive that the way the stock has shown a rally is really very admirable, and we have seen a very fresh breakouts with a very decent volume. The counter is trading at 230 levels. It's above the support levels. Downside, it has a very crucial support at around 210. So as long as this particular counter holds the support levels, I believe we are likely to see the extension of this pullback rally towards to at least 270 or 280 levels. So you can definitely hold on, or even you can take the long positions at the current market price by keeping a stop loss of 210 for a target of 270 and about at 300 levels can be seen.
All right, so it's a hold for Godavari Power from Swati. We have our next caller. Ram Rajan is calling from West Bengal. Hi, thanks for calling in, Ram. How can we help you? Hi, Ram, can you hear me? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Ram, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost the feed for Ram. I'll take the next WhatsApp query then. Sushila from Bellary is writing to us about knowing about Morpin Lab shares, and she's bought it at 84 a piece and she's holding around 167 of them, and she wants to know the targets going forward. So I'll come to you for this one. What should be the target and stop loss for this particular counter? Let's say if 1 year is the time horizon.
The stock is really looks positive on the technical front, whether we check it on the weekly or the daily or the monthly charts. The counter is doing a very well. This month itself, we have seen a return of almost 8%. As of now, this particular stock is trading in the pattern of the high top side bottom formations in the upward rising channel. I believe it has on a short-term period, it has a very cluster resistance nearby 92 levels. From the last 3 months, we are witnessing that it's not able to bridge that resistance level. Once it manages to give the breakout of level, definitely we are likely to witness a new trend on the high side, which may take a counter to the 3-digit 120 to 130 levels can be seen. So if you're looking for a longer term horizon, at least minimum 6 to 1 month to 1 year, then definitely you can hold on. Downside, it has a good support of 78 rupees. So by maintaining that stop loss, you can hold on your long positions.
Well, got that view, Swati. Now we're getting a very interesting query now on Reliance Industries. We're getting this as an international request coming from USA. They've held the stock from 1985. They're holding roughly a very high quantity as well, 6,000 shares at rupees 4.80 rupees per share, sitting on very, very handsome profits. Let me get an Astha first. Astha, your view on Reliance Industries, definitely a very big profit that the investor is sitting on. What's your view on the same?
The view is definitely positive, but first of all, would like to congratulate the investor for such a good investment. So this itself portrays that if you invest for a longer term horizon, the kind of wealth making it may do in the portfolios. Now, talking about the Reliance Industries fundamental seems to be okay. Although the Q2 of FY25 was a mixed set of bag, but we believe that due to the recent tariff hike, I think their geo will perform good, and on the back of good festive demand, the retail segment will perform in a more better way in the upcoming results, which can be seen. So all in all, for the Q3 of FY25, we are more positive result-wise and recommend a hold on this counter with a price target of 1,500.
All right. I think the kind of patience that you require to hold the stock since 1985, it's really commendable, Mukesh. So congratulations for that. We have our next caller, Pankaj Chaurasia is calling in from Kolkata. Hi Pankaj, thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
Hi, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
I have a share of KNR Construction and I bought it at a rate of 335.
Okay.
So should I hold or sell?
Okay, what's the time horizon that you're looking for? Sorry?
I can hold it for next 1.5 years.
1.5 years, okay. And is there any rationale behind buying KNR Construction specifically?
It has a very good Q2 result, that's why I bought it.
Okay. Okay, Asa, I'll come to you for this one. Your view on KNR Construction?
So for KNR Construction, the view is positive. First of all, I would like to give the price target, which can be set at more around 550 to 580 odd levels. Talking about this counter, it is a leading EPC player, as we all know, and they have a strong order book. If I take their order book, it is more than 5,000 crore, I believe. So, and it is 1.4x of revenue. So the order to bill ratio is also very decent, and we believe that this counter, although they have not performed strongly in their Q2 results, but upcoming results can be good because H2 of FY25 will be positive for all the infra companies. This is what we believe. So yes, one can remain invested in the counter. Price target can be set at the initial level at around 350 to 380.
All right, we have our next query that is on Cummins India. Senthil from Chennai is writing in to know as to what should be the status for Cummins India going forward. Swati, I'll come to you for this one. How does it look on charts?
Chart really looks very promising. The stock is under the construction of the inverse head and shoulder formations, and it's on the verge of forming the right shoulder. It's very technical term as such, I can say, but definitely the view is positive in this particular counter. 3580, 3590 is the breakout level, the neckline of the pattern. I believe that the rally can be seen on higher side up to at least 3800 and then 3900 levels on the higher side. So you can definitely hold on. Downside, it has a very crucial support of 3400 levels, provided by its 20 days moving average as well. So by keeping that stop loss, you can definitely hold on long positions for immediate target of 3800 rupees.
Got that view, Swati. Now, the next query that we have is on Jai Prakash Power. Now, the investor has bought roughly 5,000 shares at 18.26 rupees per share, very close to the current trading levels. They want a view on the long term. So let me get an Astha for a quick view on Jai Prakash Power. Astha, what's your view?
So long-term view is really positive on this counter because power space is really looking good to us. Now, talking about this counter in particular, the reason behind their muted performance was the poor Q2 of FY25 results, because there was a degrowth in the bottom line of around 25%, we believe. And that is why we have seen not very strong momentum in these stock prices. But going ahead, as I've already discussed in the previous queries, that now the power space is in the great demand. So definitely this company will really get the help from the industry tailwinds, and that's why maybe the results can be expected on the positive side. So remain invested in the counter, no need to worry. I think this counter has a potential to move till the level of 20 to 21 rupees.
Right, that's the view coming in on JB Power. Anish from coaching is calling us and he wants a view on Reliance. Anish, we've already answered your query on Reliance. Astha has already answered it. So I hope we've addressed your query already. Moving on to the next question, Nimesh Shah is writing in from New Jersey, USA. We've got a lot of international viewers today, and he's bought 100 SRF shares at 2,300 from a medium term perspective, but he wants to know the fundamental outlook for the share. He's saying that the share price has remained range bound, and this is despite of the capex investment that the company is doing. So I mean, Asa, he's already analyzed the company quite a bit. So I think he's put in a lot of thought process before investing into SRF. But what's your view on this counter?
So there is one major reason behind the range bound or the muted performance and the stock price momentum, and that is the weak quarterly results which this company has posted in the Q2 of FY25. Especially their chemical business is not able to garner that much of positivity, and that is why we have seen the stock not performing so strongly. But going ahead now, this company has a strong capex plan of around 160 to 180 billion over next few years. So I think on the basis of these capex plan which this company is going for, the financial performance can see a jump or can see a push back. So I think that is why we can say that in the longer term this stock can perform, and hence one can hold this counter. Initial price target can be set at around 2550 to 2600 odd levels.
Got that Astha. Let me quickly just take in a quick WhatsApp query first before we get to our next caller. We're getting in a query on Exide Industries on the battery maker from Amir Ali. He's holding roughly 20 shares, incurring a loss of 10%. While the buy price hasn't been mentioned, he has a 1-year time horizon going forward. Astha, what is your view currently on Exide Industries, as well as anything you can add on Amar Raja as well? Both of them have been doing very well over the past year, but there's been some recent pressure in the Q2 results as well due to higher raw material cost. What's your view, Astha, on both these battery makers?
Yes, results were in the pressure, but their order book is very robust. So this is one of the major attraction point of this company is their order book, and on that basis, we expect the coming, because order book always gives the strong revenue visibility, and that is where we are expecting the decent financial performance from this counter in their coming results. Recommending a hold on this counter with a price target of around 510 to 515.
That's the view coming in on Exide. So it's a hold from Astha. We have our next caller. Jagannath is calling in from Maharashtra. Jagannath, hi. Thanks for calling in. How can we help you?
सर मैंने हिंदुस्तान कंपोजिट के सितंबर में लिए थे 616 से 90 से आपला 49 शेयर्स है सर. अभी होल्ड करना है या कैसा लॉस में है सर? अभी 7%.
अच्छा, और अभी कितने टाइम तक आप होल्ड करना चाहते हो? और
सर मुझे 5% प्रॉफिट ये है सर.
5% प्रॉफिट बनाना है.
हाँ,
ठीक है. Swati, I'll come to you for this one. Do you think Hindustan Composite looks good on the chart and 5% प्रॉफिट बना सकते हैं क्या जगन्नाथ जी?
जगन्नाथ जी का नो वंडर थोड़ा बाइंग हायर लेवल्स पे हुआ है. आज ये पर्टिकुलर काउंटर हम देख रहे हैं कि ऑलमोस्ट 20% अपसाइड है. जिस हिसाब से वॉल्यूम के साथ आज प्राइस मोमेंटम हुआ है काफी स्ट्रांग है. इसने एक इनवर्स हेड एंड शोल्डर पैटर्न का फॉर्मेशन का ब्रेकआउट दिया है. मुझे लगता है कि ये रैली कंटिन्यूड हो सकती है. 620 उसके बाद 640 के लेवल्स होते हैं. तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी जगन्नाथ जी को, आप अपने लॉन्ग पोजिशन होल्ड कर सकते हो. 620-630 के आसपास आते हो तो आप अपने प्रॉफिट्स बुक कर सकते हो.
Profit book कर सकता है Hindustan Composite पे is the view coming in from Swati. Let me go to the next query is coming in on Paradeep Phosphate. Now this stock, has been bought by the investor Mr. Subramaniam. He's calling us from Chennai. He's bought it at roughly about 89.7 rupees per share. He's holding roughly 30 shares. Let me get in a view from Astha first on this, because he's asking whether he should hold or accumulate more. So looking to add further on any kind of correction. Astha, what's your view currently on Paradeep Phosphate, and what should an investor do going forward?
So here the accumulation can be done at the lower level. First of all, he's making good profit as of now because the cost price is 87 as far as I remember, and the stock is quoting at around 110. So congratulations on that investment. But for the accumulation, what we believe that if the stock falls to the level of 100 or so, then it is a better level to enter into this counter. Talking about the fundamental seems to be quite average for this counter, but going ahead, we can see a rise in their margins, which can help the company to post strong numbers. So for the longer term, it's a hold from our side, but for the accumulation, wait for some more dip to come and then make entry into this counter. However, price target can be set at around 125 to 130 at the initial levels.
Well, that's the view from Astha. 125 is the target that she's looking at for Paradeep Phosphate. We have our next caller coming in, from Kochi, and his name is Ravindra. Ravindra, what's your query?
Yeah, I have got KROSS Cross shares through IPO at 248 rupees.
Okay, and what
shall I hold for further some time?
And what is your time horizon, Ravindra, on this?
3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. Okay, let me get in Swati very quickly on Cross Limited. It's a very recent listing, Swati, but there has been very wild price movements on the stock in such a short time frame as well. What is your view coming in on Cross Limited?
In my view, whatever the data I have it as of now, my view is a little bit cautious since the counter is trading nearby the resistance level. Whenever the stock has listed, we have seen a very sharp corrections, and we have seen that it has formed the bottom at around 150 and 160 levels. So V-shaped recovery has been witnessed in this particular stock. Now the very strong resistance is around 250 to 260 levels. As long as it doesn't give the breakout of that level, my view is will be bit cautious, and we're likely to hit some sort of a profit booking as well, because already already the stock has given a very strong rally from 160 to 240 levels. So profit booking cannot be denied at the current market price. So we might see some downfall towards to 220, 215. From there onwards, we might see again pullback rally up to 270 or 280. So not to book your losses, also not to create a fresh positions as well. Wait for the breakouts, then we can take a particular call. But as of now, you can hold on this particular buying call by maintaining a stop loss of 220 levels.
Right, wait for the breakouts to enter for Cross Limited is the view from Swati. We have our next viewer who's Karthik from Telangana. He's bought around 70 shares of Infosys at 1860. Let's pull up Infosys and see at what price it is trading at. He wants to know whether he should add more stocks or should I sell once it reaches the price target of 2000. He's sitting on a profit of roughly 6,500 odd rupees. Asa, I'll come to you for this one. Should he continue to keep holding Infosys going forward, considering how the IT space is performing?
I think he should continue holding this counter, and I think if the number comes on the positive side for the Q3, then definitely we can see the price targets of more than 2,000. So I think there is no need to book profit at the current juncture because it is a good long-term story. Now talking about the fundamental, Q2 FY25 results were very good, and especially now we have started seeing a positive performances from these segments like retail, etc. So that will be beneficial to the company in the coming quarters also. My idea here is to remain invested in the counter. Price target can be set at above 2,000 level. So there is no need to book profit at this point of time.
Got that view, Asta. The next query on WhatsApp that we're getting is on Titan. Now, we're getting this query from Ms. Reshma Bhatia. She's holding roughly 40 Titan shares and currently is at 15% profit. She's not mentioned a buy price, but she is a short-term investor. Let me get in Swati on a quick view on Titan. What's your current outlook in the short term? Because she is, looking at some good profits of 15%. But has seen some correction from, because of increased competition from other players like Kalyan. What's your outlook, Swati, on Titan going forward?
My outlook is definitely positive. We are likely to witness more uptick for almost 100 points from here onwards. Currently, the counter is trading at 3,500 levels. If you look towards the past history, the stock has shown a very strong correction, and after that, we are witnessing this kind of a pullback rally. The overall trend on the positive side is intact. You can hold on your long positions, but if possible, try to keep up a profit stop loss of it around 3450 levels. By keeping that stop loss, you can carry your long positions for immediate target of 3600, and beyond that level, 3800 can be seen very soon.
All right, that's a view coming in on Titan. We have our next caller, Ekam Barai. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. From Hyderabad is calling us. How can we help you?
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Yeah. It's not coming on the TV, this separate?
It's coming on the TV, sir.
No, I'm not. There's a time lag.
Yeah, there might be a time lag, but you can ask your query and then you can listen in your query.
Okay.
Sure.
Hello?
Hi, I can hear you, Mr. Yeah.
Okay. See, I am holding IRFC about 250 shares.
Okay.
At the rate of 167.
Okay.
So, should I average at this stage?
Okay. What's the time horizon that you're looking for?
I'm looking for another 6 months.
Another 6 months. And when did you buy this?
This is 1 year back.
1 year back. Okay, Swati, I'll come to you for this one. IRFC for the next 6 months?
My view is a bit cautious as of now. No wonder we have seen a strong pullback rally from 133 to 160. But 160, 165 is acting as a very cluster resistance zone, and it's not able to give the breakout of same level from the last 3 months, which indicates some sort of a cautious sign on the technical front. If you're looking for average it out, I will suggest wait for any dips towards to 140 to 135 levels. That is a very strong support level we are witnessing from the last few trading sessions. So that level will be a very good levels to take your average route positions, not at the current market price. If you're getting any breakouts of 160, 165 level, then we can witness the resumption of the uptrend towards to 200 levels. So wait for a time being, let the stock settle down at the 135 to 140 levels, and you can definitely take a average route position.
Well, wait for the timing is the query, is the outlook coming in on IRFC. Let's take the next query now on GMR Airports. We're getting this query from Bhaskar. In his view, he's currently mentioned that he can hold the stocks for the next 3 years. Let me get a fundamental view first from Astha. Astha, the company is very interesting one. Airports, not a lot of listed peers. What's your outlook on GMR Airports? It's seen roughly 16-17% returns in the past year. What does the future outlook look like for the company?
So future outlook is looking positive for this company, and that's why we are recommending a hold on this counter with a price target of 95 at the initial level. Now talking about this counter, I think the new tariff order at the Delhi airport, and I think that will be really, helping this company in showing the good numbers. And we are also expecting the rise in the traffic. And if there is a rise, because now this season is going on, and definitely there will be a rise in the airport traffic, and air traffic rise will always be beneficial to the companies like GMR Airport. So positive on this counter, recommending a hold with a price target of 95.
All right. The next query is from Rajesh, who's from Bangalore. He's holding Trident 2585 shares bought at 38 rupees. Let's pull up Trident and see what it's trading at currently. And he wants to know what should be the targets going forward. Swati, I'll come to you for this one. How does Trident look on charts? Today it's gaining significantly in trade.
As of now, in 2024, we have seen that the stock has already corrected from almost 55 to 30 levels, and now the stock has given the breakout of that downward sloping trend line. It means we are witnessing some reversal sign at the current levels. This kind of a reversal can be extended up to 45 levels. So I will suggest to hold on your long positions. If possible, try to keep a stop loss of at around 35 so levels, and you can hold your long positions for immediate target of first target will be a 45, and beyond that 50 levels can be seen. So it's a hold from my end.
Well, we're getting a next query coming on a call. Now Vishal is joining us from Bangalore. Vishal, what's your query?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I have shares of Carborundum, about 150 shares bought for 1598 price. Basically, I would like to know what are the long-term views on the shares, and basically at what point I can accumulate more shares, right? Because I was just trying to add some shares at last time. I think it went to like 1340.
Right.
So right now I was just checking it randomly today,
Got it.
and I saw it is like somewhere around 1360, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to know, what are the views long term, but I'm okay to keep it for another year or so. It's
Understood. Let me get
I bought it on 6th of June, I believe.
Got it. Let me get an Astha, very quick view on Carborundum. Now, as the viewer mentioned, there has been some stock price correction from the price that viewer has bought at roughly about 1600. What's your view on Carborundum for Vishal going forward, Astha?
Our view is hold with a price target of 1600. Now talking about this counter, although results were not very positive because they were below estimates in Q2 of FY25, but what was positive is that the management guidance of around 9 to 11% revenue growth. So that was the major positive for this company, and that's why we believe that this company, if they stick on the guidance, definitely the financial performance will improve in the coming quarters. So idea here is to stay invested in the counter with a price target of 1600.
All right, that's the view coming in on Carborundum. The next query is from Monica Reddy, who's from Raipur, Chhattisgarh. She's bought Lemon Tree at 151. She's bought it at 141 rupees and bought 151 shares, and she wants to know what will be the upper side of this stock. Swati, I'll come to you for this one. What could be the targets for Lemon Tree going forward? The company is adding keys left, right, and center. So the outlook is very positive fundamentally, but how does it look on charts?
You have correctly pointed out the overall definitely view is positive if you consider all the fundamental reasons. As of now, upside, we are likely to witness up to the 158 line, which is the previous all-time high. Up to that level, we can see the extension of this rally. Beyond that levels, definitely the door gets open for the 170 or 180 so levels. No wonder the momentum will be slowly and steadily. We will not witness some sort of a steep rally compared to the other stocks. But on a downside, it has a very strong support of 330. So as long as it's maintained that level, my view will remain a bullish for immediate target of 160, and beyond that 180 levels can be seen.
That view, Swati. The next query that we're getting in is on easy trip planners. Now, we're getting this query from Srinivas, sorry, and they are holding roughly about close to 7,000 shares, 6,922 shares, averaging at roughly about 18.24 rupees per share. He is looking for a long-term scope on the stock. Let me get in Swati very quickly. Swati, this counter has seen some correction over the last 6 months, but the company has also been making waves, of course, in its industry of travel. But they have also announced that they are going into the EV bus manufacturing space, which is a very nascent stage, but very complicated process as well. What's your view on the stock going forward on Easy Trip, and something that the investor can look forward to going forward as well?
My view is positive because from the few trading sessions we have witnessed a very strong pullback rally from 14 to 19 level. The stock has given a bonus of 1:1 ratio. After such kind of a news or the momentum, definitely we're likely to witness some sort of a price correction has been seen. Now it's a time correction. We might see the stock might go under the consolidation phase within the range of 16 to 18 levels with the range of a 2 rupees, and then onwards we can see some sort of a reversal once its stocks manages to give the positive closing above 18 or 19 levels, so then we can witness a very strong upside momentum towards 24 to 28 levels. So at the current momentum you can hold on your long positions. Stock is not correcting much as of now, not showing any sign of a correction, so as long as the stock holds 15 rupees you can definitely hold on your long positions for a target of 24 and 28 levels.
Hold for Easy Trip Planners from Swati. The next caller is Kamalakar, who's calling from Andhra Pradesh. Thanks for calling in, Kamalakar. How can we help you?
Yeah, thank you. Recently, I bought Bharat Electronics at the rate of 290,
okay,
which is quantity 3,000 units.
Okay.
So, I'm a short-term trader. Where can I book profits? And
okay. So you want a short-term view. Okay, Swati, I'll come to you for this one. BL, how does it look on charts?
Very promising charts on the monthly chart. Why I'm saying that on the monthly chart is forming the flag pattern, which is a very strong formations on the monthly chart. Whenever such kind of a formation takes place on a larger degree, definitely it will give the breakout, but very slowly and steadily. Whenever the consolidation breakout we are likely to get the confirmations on the higher sides. As of now, the stock is stuck within the range of 300 to 320, but I believe once it manages to keep a breakout of that level, definitely the rally likely to be extended towards to at least 360 to 370. So you can hold on your long positions. If possible, try to keep a stop loss of 305 and hold your long positions.
Got that view, Swati. Now, the next query that we are getting in is from, Mr. Sanjay Sisodia from Mumbai. He has been trying to call us, but, our lines are busy. But thanks so much for sending us that message, Sanjay, on your query. Now, we are taking, Jyoti CNC as a stock, looking forward. He's bought roughly about 1,000 shares at 1,120 rupees per share. Let me get in, Astha for a quick view on the stock. What's your outlook? It's seen a very good, price performance as well, led by fundamentals in its Q2 results as well. What's your outlook, Astha, going forward?
So it is one of the leading metal cutting computer machines, Jyoti CNC basically. And yes, the financial performance was also very good, from 330 to 1321. What a strong jump we have seen, because this IPO came, I think, in January this year only. So yes, outlook is positive. One can remain invested in the counter for the price target of 1,500 at the initial level.
Next query is from Jaya, and she's writing in from Bangalore. She wants a suggestion whether it's the right time to enter Waaree Energies at current price, and what's your long-term view? As I'll stick with you for this one. Waaree Energies, is this the right time, and what should be the time period and time horizon that she should keep holding it for?
So long-term view is positive. Time period can be 6 months. Remain invested in the counter or make an entry also for the price target of 3,400 at the initial level. So maybe 10% or 15% upside we are seeing as of now. Now talking about this counter, they have got a very strong distribution network. Their name is well-known name in the energy space. And what we are seeing that the results were also very good. In fact, they have such a strong facilities that their facilities are always, they can always change any new technology come, then their facilities are well placed to adopt those things. So I think this Waaree Energies is looking very strong to us. We have recommended it during the IPO time also, and now also we are continuing our recommendation of hold on this counter. Initial price target can be set at around 3,400 to 3,500 only.
That's the view coming in on Vali Energies. Now, the next query that we are getting in, is on Ola Electric, coming in from Arjun. He has bought roughly 200 shares, bought at a price of rupees 90. Now, recently we have seen a very strong correction from, the 69-70 rupee levels. He wants a long-term view. Astha, what's your view going ahead on Ola Electric? Lot of triggers coming in, EV bike launch being one of them. What's your outlook on Ola Electric going forward?
Outlook is again positive. Price target can be set at around 100 to 110 rupees. And yes, in fact, whatever customer companies they were getting, they have taken certain steps to resolve that also. And in fact, the new product launches in the EV space is really helping the company in posting good numbers, because this financial performance was also decent, and upcoming financial performance are also expected to be on the better counter. So remain invested in the counter with a price target of 100 to 110.
Senthil from Nellai is writing in and he wants a view on TVS supply chain. Senthil, just one quick update. You're trying to call us on WhatsApp, but it's not possible to patch in WhatsApp. You can call us on the number that will be flashing on your screen in some time if you want to really call us. But taking your query on TVS supply chain, he's holding, he wants to know whether he should keep holding it or sell it. He's bought it at 196 a piece. Swati, I'll come to you for this one.
My view is definitely positive, and we are recommending to our clients as well at the current market price. The monthly chart is very strong. The weekly chart is strong. Quarterly, we have seen a very strong breakouts of a downward sloping trend lines. If you look towards the at least 4-5 studies, definitely it's covering all on a positive sides. No wonder we are getting likely to slowly and steady momentum can be seen in this particular stock. My target is I'm looking forward towards at least 200 to 220 levels. So it's a definitely hold on from my end. If you want any kind of a stop loss, 175 acting as a very crucial support level. Keeping that stop loss, you can hold on your long positions. Immediate target 200 and 220 levels can be seen very soon.
We are seeing some visuals of the RBI governor in his final press meet. He's been at the helm for the last 6 years, and we are looking at the live visuals coming in from the press conference as well, expected to start very, very shortly. While we are also seeing some flashes of the AMFI data for the month of November, seeing decent inflows of the large cap on a month-on-month basis. It has been lower, but flexi cap funds have seen good net inflows of roughly about 5,000 odd crores, continuing its very strong momentum. While sectoral as well as the thematic funds have seen inflows also very strong, but on a month-on-month it has fallen, but 7,000 odd crores very well. NFO inflows have also been doing very well as well in this particular time frame. While the AMFI data does flow in, we are seeing some live visuals coming in from the RBI governor's press meet as well.
It's his one last press meet. Yeah, so it can be called as his one last dance probably before
he... Thank you very much for being here at such a short notice. And all of you have been very cooperative, and I think you have been widely reporting on the Reserve Bank and its activities over the last 6 years. So a special thank you once again to you all, and thank you to your to the wider audience for having been so patient and watching some of I presume you have been watching the press conferences of the Reserve Bank. I don't propose to make a statement or anything, but I thought it appropriate that I recall the day I joined in the Reserve Bank of India on 12th of December 2018. At 4 p.m. or so that they had held a press conference. So I thought it would be appropriate and fitness of things that when I'm demitting office later today, I also sort of share some thoughts with you. So I'm not presenting a report card, I'm not making any statement, but just sharing a few thoughts. If you recall, in that December 12th, 2018 what I had said before you, I had made about a few points. I had said that it's available in the YouTube even now. I had said that the Reserve Bank is a great institution with a rich legacy. I had also said that I will do everything to uphold the professionalism, core values, credibility and autonomy of the Reserve Bank. I had also said that the officials and the officials and the personnel of Reserve Bank, They have, high level of knowledge, quality of knowledge, core competence and professionalism. I had mentioned about the teamwork, the need for, that my approach, I'm not saying it was not there earlier, but I had said clearly that my approach would be to work in a spirit of teamwork within the Reserve Bank of India and take everybody along and work as a team. I had also said that decision making in the modern world is very complex in today's dynamic world, and therefore a consultative approach is necessary. A consultative approach adds value and depth to the decisions themselves. I had mentioned about the challenges in the banking sector. I had also mentioned that there are certain, and this I am saying 2018, I had mentioned about the challenges that time, before us with regard to the banking sector. I had also talked about the liquidity issue which needs to be addressed. And finally, I had said that the flexible inflation targeting, the framework of flexible inflation targeting is very important. And there is always a need to, I had highlighted and stressed the importance of maintaining inflation while being mindful of the growth trajectory. These were the exact words. So in the last 6 years, it has been my endeavor to adhere to these principles which I had mentioned when I took over as the RBI governor. You would be aware that we have adopted we have been holding wide-ranging consultations on many issues. In fact, the consultative approach behind regulation, behind all decisions that we have taken in the last 6 years, the consultative approach is very much evident. In many cases, we hold face-to-face direct meetings with the stakeholders or their associations. In many cases, we release a discussion paper or a draft circular, get the comments of all the stakeholders, and then move forward. In fact, the same approach was followed with regard to the Regulation Review Authority, the RRA 2.0, where we formed the authority was within the Reserve Bank, but we formed a group of experts to advise the regulatory, the Regulation Review Authority within the RBI. So we have followed the consultative approach, and the teamwork in the Reserve Bank was perhaps, in my experience, I can say, I cannot talk about earlier days. It was perhaps, at a very high level. I got excellent cooperation from each and every member of the RBI team. Each of my colleagues, they did their best. During the trying times of COVID, even at the risk of their own safety, their personal health, whenever required, physically they all came for discussions. Only I and the deputy governors, we were coming regularly, and a few senior officers, of course. But I think that was the level of dedication we saw. It was also evident in the quarantine facility, which we set up here. I have talked about it earlier, which lasted, in fact, more than 1 year, 1.5 years or so. And the entire staff and service sector, service providers had absolutely no complaint. And they were very happy to remain there and do their jobs while the families were away at home. Now that is the level of commitment and the teamwork I saw in the Reserve Bank. So I would like to take this opportunity to convey my thanks to all my colleagues in the Reserve Bank. I would also like to place on record the excellent suggestions, the valuable inputs which we have received in our interactions with various stakeholders. I have already tweeted about it, or X'd as you call it today. We put up a message in the X platform today morning, so I don't want to repeat on that. My personal journey, it's not a personal journey, it's a journey of a governor of the Reserve Bank. I was fortunate to get this opportunity, and I have tried to give my best to the institution, to its policies in the best interest of the economy. Now what lies ahead? The key issues in the life of a central bank or any institution or organization, it's always a continuing institution. you deal with challenges, but there are always new challenges. There are jobs which you have undertaken, there are tasks which you have done. Some of it is completed, some of it would be midway. They will be taken forward. So some issues, important issues ahead of us, not only for the Reserve Bank, but I think for the wider economy also, I would like to list out. First, so far as the Reserve Bank is concerned, I think restoring the inflation growth balance is the most important task ahead of the Reserve Bank. And I am sure the team RBI under the leadership of the new governor will take it forward. Second, there's a changing world order. I have talked about it in my last monetary policy statement. The entire global geopolitical dynamics, the geoeconomic dynamics that is undergoing fast change. The world order is also changing. In this situation, it's always necessary to remain alert and agile, and I'm sure the RBI will certainly be at its best. Third, cybersecurity and its associated risks and threats. I think that is a big challenge for every authority, not only in India, but all over the world, and particularly for a central bank. In the last 6 years, and even earlier also, we have given a lot of attention to this issue of cybersecurity and dealing with cyber challenge, the cyber threats and challenges. That is a continuing task because the challenges are continuing, new challenges are emanating, and that will be a continuing challenge for every central bank in the world, including the Reserve Bank of India. Fifth, our focus in the last 6 years has been to capitalize as much as possible on harnessing the benefits of new technology. We set up the RBI Innovation Hub in Bengaluru. We have a continuing regulatory sandbox where many innovative ideas and thoughts have come, and we have always tried to take them forward. We have given our approval to many of the innovative ideas and thoughts and the projects which came in the regulatory sandbox. CBDC is again another area where RBI, among the central banks, is a pioneer. There are very few countries which have, almost every central bank is dealing with, they're talking about, or they're experimenting, or they're discussing about CBDC, but actual launching of a pilot project has been done by very few. And as I see it, CBDC has a huge potential in the coming years, in the future. In fact, it is the future of currency. Similarly, the Unified Lending Interface, ULI, it is a true game changer. And I'm sure its benefits will get harnessed fully in the near future. And there will be a national level, nationwide rollout. And finally, sixth, financial inclusion. We have given a lot of attention. It's again a continuing responsibility. It's a continuing task. You cannot reach a stage of finality in that. The tasks and the works will have to continue. Under UPI, UPI, the unified, the UPI, we have launched many new innovative products under the overarching umbrella of the UPI, and they are producing excellent results. The UPI today has emerged as a global pioneer and as a global leader in payment systems. And ULI, about which I just mentioned, it will be transformational. It will, I think, play a very transformational role in credit delivery to the bottom of the pyramid. The ease of access, the speed, and the simplicity of procedure are the unique characteristics of ULI, and that sitting outside, I would look forward for a nationwide rollout, and I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that the Reserve Bank, with the cooperation of all central government departments and agencies, with the cooperation of the state governments, will do a nationwide rollout. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to convey my best wishes to the incoming governor, Shri Sanjay Malhotra, a person with a very wide experience, and I am sure he will do his best. And from my side, all my best wishes to my successor for success as the 26th governor of the Reserve Bank. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. And we'll take few questions. I don't want to make it a full-fledged press conference. And after that, we will adjourn for the high tea, and we will. So yes, Deepsika, please.
Deepshika from Economic Times. So when you moved to RBI, the relationship between North Block and the Mint Street, as we call it, there were concerns about the divide between the two. As you sign off today, how do you see this relationship now, and what has been your experience in dealing with this relationship?
I would like to mention that I have tweeted about it today morning also. I think the coordination between the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank of India, I can't talk about the period prior to my coming to Reserve Bank. I'm talking about the 6 years that I have been here. The coordination between the Finance Ministry, the government on one side, and the Reserve Bank, I should not say one side and the other side, because ultimately everybody belongs to the, we are all working for the nation, for the economy. But the relationship between the government, in the Finance Ministry in particular, and the Reserve Bank of India, I think they have been at their best. We had excellent cooperation, excellent coordination before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, the multiple challenges which we faced when the inflation spiked following the commencement of the war in Ukraine. The government undertook a lot of supply side measures which helped the Reserve Bank to also check inflation. The same level of coordination continues even as I am speaking to you. Thank you. Yes, Lata, please.
Governor Das, thank you very much for an excellent innings of 6 years in RBI, and for all the cooperation you have given to us as interlocutors to the economy. My question is, markets tend to have a simplistic view. When anyone comes from the Finance Ministry, they will do the bidding of the government. They'll cut rates. Can you tell the markets what exactly is, the correct position? And secondly, if Mr. Malhotra were to ask you, what is the mantra? Give me one word, or one advice in this new chair that he will occupy. What will you tell him?
No, first thing is I cannot give any mantra to anyone. And what advice I will give to Sanjay Malhotra, should he ask me. And I'm sure there will be opportunity for interaction between Sanjay and me. But what advice I would give him, should he ask, I think you leave it to, that is something between him and I. So I don't want to talk about it. And the first part of the question is, people have their way of looking at things from outside. It's nothing unusual. But when you take a responsibility, any responsibility for that matter, one is what is expected of that responsibility. The equally important aspect is, how do you see the impact of your responsibility, and you have to correlate with the outer world. Perspectives of Finance Ministry or the central bank can differ at times. It happens world over. But in my tenure, I think we have been able to resolve all such issues through internal discussions. I would like to state emphatically that when a governor comes, he looks at the wider economy. He looks at things, yes, definitely from the Reserve Bank's perspective and from the point of view of what is the mandate given to Reserve Bank and how he is going to fulfill that mandate. But while fulfilling that mandate, I can say with confidence and certainty, in the past, present if I can say, till today evening, and in the future, the governors keep in mind the requirement of the wider economy also. So it is your responsibility, it is your mandate given to you because you are occupying a particular position, plus the requirements of the wider economy. I think it's a synthesis of both, and eventually it's a judgment call which every governor takes. Thank you. Could you restrict the questions? I don't know where to. Yes, Mayur.
Governor, there's this idea about the Reserve Bank of India that it's there to provide forbearance to the government to prevent them from excesses in maybe spending or whatever. So, do you think this role of central bank has been strengthened now under this MPC framework and with this consultative approach to regulation?
Definitely, certainly, the consultative approach to regulation, the FIT framework, and I think the Bibal Jalan committee, which was actually jointly set up by the government, it was the selection of members was jointly done by the government, the finance ministry, and the Reserve Bank. It was constituted immediately after I took over in the Reserve Bank. I think many things have got institutionalized, and as the economy grows, the economy is also getting formalized. A lot of informal sector activities today, and rightly so, are getting formalized. Similarly, institution building and aspects of institutions which were perhaps not formalized, they have got formalized. I mean, it's a process. I'm not finding fault with that. It was not formalized. I think, for example, the economic capital framework that has been formalized. The inflation targeting framework has also been formalized by an amendment to the law. So I think formalization of aspects of an institution is adding strength to our economy. Yeah, Ankur.
Governor, congratulations on your A+ inning, which has been not only been recognized by internal stakeholders but externally as well. My question to you is, what is that one thing which you would have thought is unfinished agenda of Mr. Das? And if I can ask one more, what has Mr. Das learned from RBI Governor during your tenure?
Okay, what is unfinished task? I mentioned about it. In the life of any institution, there will always be unfinished tasks. It's not like, today day starts here and it ends here, because there is always a next day. Tomorrow is another day. There's a next morning, there's a new sunrise. So it's a continuing process. So you cannot, in the life of any organization and including a central bank, there will always be things. I don't call them as unfinished tasks, but I always, because unfinished means, as if everything has to be done within a limited period of time. But I think I would like to call them as works in progress. In any institution, there are always works in progress. And second question you ask is? Okay, I think that question, let's leave it for my memoirs. Should I ever write one? Yes. Yeah, please. That's anyone. Okay, I'll come to you.
Sir, what is your plan now? So, will you be interested in coming back to public office after RBI in any capacity?
I think let me first, demit office, then I will think about it. Let me enjoy a few, there is no specific plan as of now. And I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Yes, please. Here.
So I'm Falaknaz Sayyed from Deccan Chronicle newspaper. What would you like to say to your critics, who will say that as you demit office, growth has been sacrificed, monetary policy has remained too tight, and inflation still remains beyond the central bank's mandate?
You see, please complete, yeah.
And second question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
Well, rating is for you to do, and I can't reply. But on the first question, I am constrained by the fact that we are still in the silent period after the monetary policy. That was on the 6th. Even if I demit office, I am still bound by the silent period, because that is embedded in the law, in the regulations. So I cannot comment on that much. But having said that, I will just like to mention a couple of sentences. People are entitled to their views outside. Even within the Reserve Bank, there are always multiple views, and within the MPC also there are differing views, which is quite normal. So everybody is entitled to their views. But as I look at it, I think growth is impacted by multiplicity of factors, not just one factor of the repo rate. Growth, high growth or slowing growth are impacted by multiplicity of factors. I think somebody mentioned that looking at it should not be looked at very simplistically. And monetary policy, our effort has been to follow and make the monetary policy as appropriate as possible, keeping in mind the prevailing conditions and, more importantly, the overall outlook, what lies ahead. Beyond that, assessment of our monetary policy is for others to make. But I think within Reserve Bank we are, and within the MPC and within the Reserve Bank, I think we are convinced that what we have done was the best option available and was the best under the circumstances. Beyond that, I cannot and I should not, because I am bound by the silent period of the monetary policy framework requirements. Now there are too many questions, but I think we need to wrap up.
So this is your last, so he wants us to,
Okay, please, there behind. No, I have no problem, but your viewers will all get bored. So.
No, sir, not with you, certainly. So my question is on the banking side. You're possibly one of the few RBI governors to see a lot of bank failures in your tenure. When you came in, we had the ILFS crisis at its peak. People were calling it India's Lehman moment and things like that. You thankfully ensured by keeping liquidity high, etc., that it's not India's Lehman moment. We also had Yes Bank crisis. There was PMC, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, and so on. Each of these banks, you've come up with a new solution to take care of the problem. None of the two are similar. But if in 2024 we are to look back and see if any of this could have been tackled differently, what would it be for you? Or even in the larger scheme of things, if you were given a moment to tackle or look at things in a different way, come up with a different solution, would you want to touch upon any of it, sir?
You see, first our endeavor was not to sort of failure of. In fact, I should say, I should not use the word failure, but crisis or stress in any financial. Incidentally, ILFS had happened. I had a few months before I joined in the Reserve Bank. But the challenges in the various banking and non-banking institutions which you mentioned, our effort was always to see that public money, taxpayers' money, is not burdened. Public sector banks are not asked to, not to merge an institution with a public sector bank. We did follow that approach in the case of the Yes Bank, but the contribution made by the banks, led by the State Bank of India, were limited. And it was a kind of a bank-led resolution. So we tried to deal with each situation. You cannot have a standard template of dealing with such stress situations, because the problems in every incidence of bank stress or NBFC stress, the problems vary. So each issue, each entity, you have to deal with it differently depending on the circumstances prevailing there. But every such challenge that we have faced is also a learning experience. And what we learned from that and what we have done is to deepen our supervision. I think the supervision vertical of the Reserve Bank, the supervisory methods and systems of the Reserve Bank have been really, really improved. And I have talked about it at length earlier. The deputy governors also have been talking about it. Today, RBI is, if I can say with confidence, and I think it is something about which all my colleagues and I, we feel very happy about and draw a lot of satisfaction. I think today RBI's supervision is much sharper, than what it was earlier. Our effort is always to identify a potential problem, not allow it to become bigger, and to deal with it, to nip it in the bud, to deal with it in advance in a proactive manner. I think in a monetary policy statement, I had used the phrase saying that we do not wait for the house to catch fire. So I think that is the lesson which we have learned from these experiences. Yes, please.
सर आपके टेन्योर में हमने बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखी. यूएलआई के बारे में आपने बताया कि आप आप देखना चाहेंगे कब नेशन वाइड रोल आउट होगा. यूपीआई की ग्रोथ देखी, सीबीडीसी देखा. सर एक ऐसी अचीवमेंट जो आप अपने साथ रखेंगे ये सोचते हुए कि मैंने ये बदलाव लेकर आया, या मेरी टीम ने आरबीआई में ये एक बहुत बड़ा बदलाव इंडियन इकोनॉमी को दिया, सिटीजन्स को दिया, वो एक चीज़ आप किसको पिन पॉइंट करेंगे?
बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, मुश्किल है कहना, क्योंकि बहुत सारे काम हम लोगों ने किया है और कोई भी चीज़ मतलब इंडिविजुअल एफर्ट से होता नहीं. जो भी हुआ है वो सब टीम वर्क का रिजल्ट है. इट्स ऑलवेज अ टीम वर्क. और ऐसा कहना मुश्किल है विच इज़ द मतलब कौन सा ऐसा चीज़ है जो कि सबसे मतलब इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि और भी इश्यूज़ है तो वो कहना बहुत मुश्किल है. और लेकिन कई सारे इश्यूज़ है एंड we internally we have been discussing about this issue which you are saying. सर सबसे ज़्यादा कौन सा महत्वपूर्ण काम है. एक इंस्टीट्यूशन, एक सेंट्रल बैंक के लाइफ में ऐसे बहुत सारे मोमेंट्स आते हैं और बहुत सारे डिसीजंस लिए जाते हैं. आप 1930 ये 90th ईयर ऑफ रिजर्व बैंक, आप 1935 से अभी तक देखिए. अगर आप एनालाइज करेंगे रिजर्व बैंक कैसा इवॉल्व किया है तो कई सारे लैंडमार्क डिसीजंस कई सारे लिए गए हैं. और ये डिसीजन ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट था या ये ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट था कहना बहुत मुश्किल है. इनफैक्ट उस टाइप का एनालिसिस भी हम लोगों को करना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि इट्स ए कॉन्स्टेंटली डायनामिक वर्ल्ड. चीज़ें स्थिति बदलते रहते हैं. आई थिंक वी हैव टू पुट अ फाइनल. यस प्लीज हियर.
Thank you, Governor. This is Gopika from Mint. We have a new MPC with your departure. Do you think there needs to be some sort of continuity in the whole MPC framework, MPC functioning, now that we have completely new team of MPC members? And my second question is, also under your tenure, we've seen that RBI taking business restrictions, the cease and desist orders against banks and NBFCs. Do you think this has been institutionalized within RBI? This is the mechanism of putting in these business restrictions, or was it something that you took that step to give orders and for these actions?
It's always a collective decision within the Reserve Bank, and in the last monetary policy MPC meeting statement, also in the MPC statement, I have talked about the same thing. Putting business restriction is always the last resort. We always try to avoid such a situation. We engage with the individual banks or NBFCs for months together. In fact, in one or two cases, it goes even beyond 1 year. And there are quite a few, not many, but there are quite a few institutions which have not come to the public light. But through the process of direct interaction, we have been able to resolve the problems, and the concerned institutions, they responded very quickly. We don't like to unnecessarily prolong those restrictions. Recently, 4 MF microfinance lenders, we put restrictions, and we have withdrawn the restriction in one of them in less than 2 months. That's because we saw immediate compliance and very quick steps were taken. So therefore, we don't like to sort of unnecessarily prolong it. We adopt this restriction as a last resort after months of engagement, when we don't see the desired results. It's a last resort, and we always, our effort is to, even after putting the restriction, our focus is on directly continuing the interaction with the institution, helping them out and facilitating quick implementation or quick resolution corrective steps. And as soon as we see the compliances are visible or almost full, the compliances are visible or completed or near, almost completed, we remove the restrictions. Yes, please. Sorry, MPC? No, MPC is an institution. It will continue. I mean that the new members have already participated in 2 meetings. And there is the internal MPC, the Monetary Policy Department of the Reserve Bank, which does all the research and makes presentations. So I don't think it should be an issue at all.
Governor Vishwanath here from NDTV Profit. 2 part of firstly, taking away from Gopika's question, fintech companies in private believe that the RBI is way too tough on them. Would you want to give...
RBI is?
Way too tough on them when it comes to compliance and regulation. So anything on that? And second part, you talked about a lot of the teamwork and the legacy of the RBI and all of that. After the 6 years, is there anything you want to change at the RBI?
It's a continuing institution. There is always room for improvement. That will be my answer to the second question. And the first question you said was fintechs. No, well, I would, beg to disagree. In fact, in one of the monetary policy statements or in one of my speeches, I have talked about how many meetings we have held with the fintech companies, either in groups or individually. Now, a particular day in the month is dedicated, specifically earmarked for fintech companies and innovators to come to RBI and have face-to-face interaction. There is a separate fintech department. And in fact, the feedback that I have got, not because I am governor and they tell me, because in private, when people come to meet me, either in a small group or individually one company, or when they come and meet me, I always encourage them in those meetings to be absolutely and brutally frank and to share their concerns. My sense is that I think almost all of them are very satisfied with RBI. Those who had some concerns or those who thought RBI was acting very tough, when they interact with us and when we explain to them the background of our action or the background of our stance, my experience and our experience in the RBI is that I think almost all of them appreciate why the RBI is doing certain things. And we have tried to improve our communication also to explain the rationale as to why we are doing certain things. Yes, there. I think this is going too far. I think I'll take another 3-4 questions and we must conclude. Yeah, there, yeah.
Morning, sir. Ashok from the Hindu. In the last 6 years, various approaches to controlling inflation have been spoken about. Apart from the inflation targeting framework and criticisms about the framework have also come about. In your governorship, have you gotten chance to look at different approaches to deal with inflation, apart from just flexible inflation targeting framework?
You see, flexible inflation targeting framework is embedded in the law. It's there in the Reserve Bank of India Act. So, and different approaches to monetary, to inflation control. Supply side measures government has been taking. We have been interacting with the government. From the monetary policy side, whatever action is required, the Reserve Bank has been taking. Ultimately, the result will be an outcome of the supply side measures, the government side measures, as well as the monetary policy measures, the monetary measures taken by the Reserve Bank. So it is a synthesis, the outcome is a synthesis of both. Beyond that, approach will depend on the prevalent situation and the outlook. You cannot really define. And I would like to say that there is nothing like, it's media or the analysts, they term certain things as hawkish, dovish and all that, names of various birds are used. In fact, I think my predecessor had used the word owl, saying that, Reserve Bank, the MPC keeps its eyes always open. But I think these are, nice ways of describing. As far as I understand, I think the effort of all central banks and very much in the Reserve Bank is to take the most appropriate measure in the interest of the economy. So that is the overarching approach. I think this is now going too much, I think we'll have to call a halt. Puneet, you have to take charge. So I think some of the questions we can deal with it during the high tea. So if there is any compelling question, you please come forward. Otherwise, we can deal with it. Yes.
From Mr. Brijesh, he is sitting towards the end.
Okay, right.
Brijesh, you can have one.
We have to end now. I think we have really overshot.
Brijesh, yeah.
थैंक यू सर। एक सर आपने बहुत अच्छी चीज़ की थी जो ट्रांसपेरेंसी के लिए कि आपने आरबीआई बोर्ड मीटिंग के मिनट्स पब्लिक करने शुरू किए थे। उससे बहुत सी चीज़ें देखने और समझने का मौका मिलता था। लेकिन सर एक सवाल जो मैंने आपसे पहले भी पूछा था, फिर से एक बार पूछ रहा हूँ कि जिन कंपनियों के खिलाफ आप एक्शन लेते हैं, रेगुलेटेड एंटिटीज़ के खिलाफ, आप पब्लिक नहीं करते हैं, तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि उन जानकारियों का चूँकि इंटरनली कहीं ना कहीं होती हैं, उनका मिसयूज़ होता रहा है। तो ये फैसला ऐसा इस पर क्यों स्टिक रहे कि आपने उन चीज़ों को जो भी रीजन ऑर्डर होते हैं वो आप पब्लिक नहीं करते हैं? आपने पब्लिक नहीं किया?
नहीं, हम लोग अभी आपने देखा होगा पिछले कई महीनों में हम जो प्रेस नोट इशू करते हैं, जो प्रेस रिलीज इशू करते हैं, उसमें बहुत विस्तृत रूप में हम एक्सप्लेन करते हैं कि क्यों एक्शन लिया गया है। और बाकी जो आप कह रहे हैं कि ऑर्डर क्यों नहीं रिलीज कर रहे हैं, ये स्ट्रिक्टली बिटवीन द रेगुलेटर, सुपरवाइजर एंड द एंटिटी। सो और उसमें कोई भी अगर मटेरियल चीज ऐसा है, देन जो बैंक है या एनबीएफसी है उनके ऊपर निर्भर करता है। अगर वो लिस्टेड कंपनी है तो उनको सेबी के गाइडलाइन के अनुसार उनको स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस को इन्फॉर्म करना होता है। बाकी जो है प्रोसेस ऑफ इंटरैक्शन, इट इज़ ए कंटिन्यूइंग इंटरैक्शन। लेकिन हमारा कोशिश अभी पिछले कई महीनों में, उससे पहले भी हमने शुरू किया था कि विस्तृत रूप में हम कारण बताते हैं क्यों एक्शन लिया गया है।
One last question, sir. Okay. Doordarshan Shama, she would like to.
Yes.
Hello sir, Shama from Doordarshan. Sir, since this is the last question, you've always addressed our Indian economy as a bright spot with Mahatma Gandhi quotes and cricket phrases. How would you summarize Indian economy currently, and as the geopolitical tensions are rising, world order is changing, how would you say what lies ahead for India?
I think the Indian economy today is resilient and robust, with the capacity to deal with global spillovers very effectively. We are much better placed today than what it was in an earlier, what it was a few years ago. We are much better placed to deal with all such challenges. And the inherent potential of the Indian economy to grow is very much there. And I always remain optimistic about the outlook for the Indian economy. And precisely for that reason, the last monetary policy statement, I again quoted Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, which I had done earlier: never lose faith in the destiny of India. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. With this, we close this press conference. I'll request the media friends to assemble outside for an informal discussion.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. You're watching Hot Money. I'm Hiral Dadia and with me is Puneet Javeri. Puneet, good afternoon. Clearly, if you see in terms of markets, a pretty somber day of trade is what you're seeing. You're still seeing Nifty 50, which is hovering around those 24,600 levels. No major uptick or downtick that has been seen so far. Let's pull up Bank Nifty on the screens as well and see what that is doing in trade. And one of the bigger announcements, there you go, to 0.1% higher in terms of Bank Nifty as well. If you see in terms of the sectoral performance, if we can have the sectoral heat map to understand where is the uptick coming in. IT is up around 0.9%. Real estate continues the up move. You have consumer durables, FMCG, metals. If I'm not mistaken, it's the third or the fourth consecutive session of gains on that front. And the PSU banking space, which is seeing some smart moves. On the downtrend, you have energy, which is down around 0.6%. Infra, as well as oil and gas, that is trading under pressure. Media, auto, and pharma are down and about in trade. If you see in terms of the advanced decline ratio as well, on Nifty 50, that's an interesting move. There you go. You have 1,000 advances over 1,100 decline. So pretty much flat on that front as well. And if you see in terms of stocks, Shriram Finance, the top gainer in today's day, followed by a Wipro, Bajaj Finserv, Infosys, as well as a Tata Steel. On the losing end, you have names like Bharti Airtel. In fact, you did see a block deal that happened in terms of Bharti Airtel. In today's session, Grasim, Dr. Reddy's, Trent, and Adani Ports are down in trade. So that's with regards to large caps. Puneet, very quickly in terms of broader markets, what's the trend that you're picking up?
Let's also look at, the mid cap 150 and the small cap 250 as well. We've seen roughly flat moves similar to what's happening in the Nifty as well. And quickly, let's also look at, similar to in small cap 250. And let's look at the winners and the losers in the Nifty 500 as well, because we're seeing some very interesting moves coming in. A lot of players today on the upside. We are seeing 12% move on Raymond, another 10% move on Varroc. Now Varroc is very interesting. They've released their presentation and they've increased their guidance as well for new business orders. That's what triggering the stock on the upside. We're seeing some positive moves on Clean Science again, while on the negative side we are seeing some downward movements on HEG. Now HEG has run up very spectacularly because of what's happening in China and the restrictions on exports to the USA, while CAT is also seeing some 3.9% fall after a really strong session yesterday, upwards of 11% on the new acquisition that the company has made. But we are discussing a lot of key themes here today in session. The first one's of course India Inc. on fundraise, but what are the other ones that we are going to discuss today?
Right, so let's look at the key themes. One, as Puneet mentioned, you're talking about India Inc. That will be in focus on the back of the fundraise spree that we are going on. Order wins continue as well on number 2. On number 3, you have CDMO and renewable energy contracts that have been tied up with companies. So that's a segment that we are watching out for. Acquisitions are absolutely hot in the pharma sector today. So Metropolis and Suven are in focus. Plus, you have NSE, BSE that is in focus on the back of the impact of SEBI curbs on F&O trading. Insurance data is out for the month of November and the private companies continue to outperform. LIC is a downer and you have the key brokerages of the day. But to start off with, in terms of fundraising, 3 stocks that we are watching out for. One is Bharat Forge, followed by PG Electroplast as well. But